This is a Kenwood, what is this, an 820S here. Single sideband transceiver. And just going to use this and receive. Pick up WWV here. You can go down here to 15 megahertz. It's got 1.8 megahertz band here. This thing is actually something that I bought off eBay, so the bands are kind of goofed up. On 1.8 here, it goes from, what's it go to? 2.8 down to the VFO might be goofed up. That's a 160 meter band, that's the 80 meter band here. That's the 40 meter band. I'm on the wrong sideband. That's lower sideband. You can put it upper sideband. There's upper, that's lower. There's 20 meters. That's an upper sideband, so you turn this over here. I really only have a little antenna poking outside this building, so it's only a foot or two long, about 4 feet long, so it's totally got, really have anything hooked up on it, but there's a guy right there down in the mud. For some reason, 15 meters on this radio is totally like dead, not hooked up or something. This is one that I picked up real cheap and it's been modified, so who knows what the heck's going on. Where this says 28 on mine, goes over and starts at 28 like it should. I think it goes up to about 28.5 over here. You can see that says 300, 400, 500. 28.5 goes from 28.5 to 29 megahertz, and on this thing 29, actually somebody's modified this for CB or something, because it starts at 27 here and it goes up to 27.5, and then 29.5 on mine starts at 27.5 and goes to 28, which is the free band if you're not a ham. I'm a ham, but anyways, that's just kind of an interesting thing I picked up real cheap because it's got some issues and I got to play around with it. For receiving on here, if you do pick something up, you can adjust the plate over here to adjust the, and the drive has a little bit to do with the transfer of the signal on the receiver, because even though I'm right now not using the tubes for transmit, this does affect the passing of signal through on the receiver. This is a hybrid receiver, which means it's got 2 tubes in the back for transmitting, and for receiving it's all solid state and has a digital readout on here for the VFO. It's got a CW setting, LSB, lower sideband, upper sideband, FSK, compression level, whole bunch of different things. Here's an RF attenuator. Lets you know the attenuator's in here. When you're using the meter, this is set up for RF, the compression. You can measure the high voltage here. So if you turn on the heater, this goes through and turns the heater on in the back for the tubes. Here's the ALC on it. This is the plate, the tune and the drive. When you're normally operating, say in the 14 megahertz band, you got to put this over on here as an initial setting that you normally use for tune and load. This is the drive setting, which is the power. This is the tune and load. These are fixed channels that you can use. And here's the RIT, which is for receiving. If you want to listen a little bit off what you're transmitting, this lets you know the RIT button's on. You can shift this around to be 0. This is the RIT here. This is the RIT, excuse me, I'm screwed up. The center, this is the IF shift. It's got a D10 on there, which is CUDI on the IF shift. And this is the RIT button. So when it's in the center, there's no offset. Get the microphone, AF gain here, of course, which is volume. This is the RF gain, which is the sensitivity. I'm using this inside a building. It's got a whole bunch of computers with the backs off, so it's just a totally bad RF environment. I need to put a shielded cable to the outside, and because I get in a very bad environment for picking up things. There's a lot of other things on here. There's a processor, relay button, Vox gain, and I'm not sure how good it is. This only paid about $160 for this thing, so it might be more of a project. It receives fairly well. I haven't really fooled around on the transmit. I need to hook up a dummy load and play around with it, see if I've got more of a dead man's radio or whatever. So here's a little bit of squeal I'm picking up, probably from a computer in here. If I hit the RIT button, it's going to offset. If I turned it to the sound, it's about the same. There's very little shift. This is actually reading out what the receive is. So this particular radio, if I put this on 14.1954 and I adjust the RIT, this is actually showing on the display what it's actually receiving at. Kind of interesting. Some of the radios I have, this is all a little bit different. Anyways, this is a KENWOOD TS 820S radio I picked up just to play around with off of eBay. Didn't pay very much. And since it was owned by a Citizens Band guy, I'm not really sure what I'm going to get into. And I'm not sure why there's nothing here on 21. That's kind of a mystery. That's a 15-meter band. There's nothing there. These two 10-meter bands of the 28 and 28.5 are correct for 10 meters. And 29, evidently, they probably got some crystals in there changed around, so it picks up CB 27 on here. So I guess I've saved this from a Citizen Band guy. I don't know. But you never know on some of this stuff if it's been out there a while or it's been, you know, everybody's got a different flavor on stuff. Sometimes they end up modifying or doing something, whatever. And here's the microphone input. Uses a standard Kenwood pinout on here. That's about it.